I am so committed to minimalism, I've bought 11 books on the subject. I'm kidding, of course, and I hope you get my humor. But today I'm talking about cleaning up the kitchen. So we're just about to move into March in the Northern Hemisphere, and spring cleaning of the kitchen is a great idea, not just for the surfaces and excess, things that you have in the kitchen that you know you're not using and haven't been using. Marie Kondo says, does it spark joy? I actually took this to the inside of my kitchen. I was about to do a film shoot for Earth's Choice, some recipes for them, and every time I looked into the fridge or in cupboards, there were things lurking in there that not only did not spark joy, but they left me with this kind of energy of actually pulling me down. So I want to make the case for doing a spring clean of ingredients in your kitchen. Yesterday I did it, and I had literally 4 bowls, big bowls of things that were in jars and in my freezer that I needed to get rid of. And here's one of the most important reasons why. As much as I hate throwing stuff away, and I hate throwing stuff away, I'm super frugal when it comes to food. Although it's probably the biggest part of my food budget, I try and make the most of it, and I try not to throw anything away I don't have to. So what happens is, because I don't throw any away, I kind of save bits and pieces, or I buy things in bulk. And then just with, kind of how life actually happens, I found things in my cupboards that were not just months old, but years old. So I had some wild rice, I know, from 5 years ago. I got a lot of it. There was only this much left, but I'm just like, wild rice, it's so expensive, it's so nourishing. And there just came the time where I had to bite the bullet. And yesterday was the day where it all went. So I'm going to show you a picture. Andy's going to put a picture in here of all the jars and containers that I actually had things in the cupboard, in the fridge, in the freezer. And I cleaned all of those out. And so it's amazing, I have a lot more storage jars as a result. So number one, as far as health reasons, not only do things go off and lose their nutrient value, things like grains, even if they're stored properly, can grow toxins in them. So aflatoxins, mycotoxins, little things that can actually create sickness in the body and even hallucinations. So really important to have a turnover in your grains. What I also wanted to do is that as I move further away from grains, as I, embrace my sweet freedom journey and understand about grains converting into sugars in the body, I want to have less grains in my kitchen, because if they're in there, I'm going to use them. And I want to be really conscious and mindful about my use of grains. So make sure that if you have grains that are a year old, it's time to go into the compost. Making these decisions will do a lot of things for you. One, every time you look in the cupboard and you see that thing that you know needs to go, looking in the fridge and you see that thing that might have something growing in it, when you actually clean it out, it frees up a lot of energy mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, as well as physically. You've got room to put new things in, good, clean things in, or even just to see exactly what you have in your fridge and cupboards. I think we can all agree that less is more when it comes to having stuff, and even if that's foodstuffs. I know if you're anything like me and you're frugal, or you don't like throwing things away, or you think just in case a war happens, breaks out, you want to have your cupboard stocked. I think that spark of joy concept that Marie Kondo talks about, I think the minimalism concept of just having what it is you need actually frees up not just physical space, but mental, emotional, and spiritual space, that when you do get into the kitchen, it makes cooking and preparing your food, your beautiful, nourishing, energizing, and protective food, it makes it so much more liberating and free and even exciting. Well, hopefully I've given you some food for thought on making your kitchen a little bit more cleaner and minimal, and doing a spring clean of the cupboards and the fridge. We'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see your before and after shots. I'd love to see what you put out on the bench, what you're throwing out, what you're going into compost. And you can leave your questions and comments and links to your pictures down below in the description. Or if you're watching this on Facebook, you can just post your pictures straight to Facebook. We'd love to see what you're doing as far as spring cleaning in the kitchen and how that impacts your Sweet Freedom journey. So if you've liked this video, please press like, subscribe to our channel, and for more information, simply go to sweetfreedom.ca.